there, storytellers! Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a used library book sale haul. So recently my library did a big, huge book sale of used library books that people donate, and they're all really awesome prices. Hardcovers are like $1 and paperbacks are like 50 cents, and everything else, if it's a special book or a special edition, they get priced sort of on the spot, but they're all really affordable, and there was a lot of great stuff this year, as you could see. So I'm going to keep it short. I'm just going to list the books and the author that I got in an effort to get you out of here sometime this century. But for now, let's dive right into it. At the time of the library book sale, I was in the middle of reading a book, and I was not sure how I felt about it, but I was growing more positive towards it as time went on, and that book was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So I actually decided to pick up my own copy to have and to finish reading at my own very slow, leisurely pace because I had trouble getting through this book, but I am now a fan and glad I have my own copy. I just want to say, please pardon the background noise. We're having work done on our house and it's gonna be slightly irritating, so sorry about that. The next two books are memoir-type books written by a drummer of a band my mom helped me get into, and that is Roadshow and Ghost Rider by Neil Peart. So if you don't know, Neil Peart is the drummer of Rush, and he's written several books. One is actually a fantasy that I haven't read yet, but I already have that one, so I'm not in a rush. Those two memoirs seemed really interesting and probably very emotional because I know one of them talks about a personal experience that he went through that was very hard for him. I love memoirs, especially if it's an artist or a writer or actor that I really enjoy, so I'm excited to have those. The next book is a grouping of 8 stories in one collection from an author that I heard of through my mother because she actually went to elementary school with her, and that is Unaccustomed Earth by Jhumpa Lahiri. The next one is a popular one here on BookTube. I've seen it around a lot and I haven't actually read it myself, so I thought I'd pick it up when I saw it, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom. The next book is a non-fiction option, which is a little outside my usual realm. I'm very particular about my books in general, but also about my non-fiction reads, so I wasn't totally sold on this one, but I was intrigued enough to pick it up, and that is The Secret History of the World by Mark Booth. The next book is the first in a series of what I believe are middle grade novels about a children's detective agency, inspired, it seems like, by Sherlock Holmes, which is why I felt like I wanted to pick it up, and that is Lockwood & Co. The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. I'm not going to lie, the next book on this haul is one that I really just picked up from the cover and the title. I have no idea what it's about, and I don't know the author that well, but that is The Bone People by Keri Hulme. Isn't it pretty? I don't know what it's about, but I loved the cover. The next one is a sequel to a book I really loved, and I've heard people didn't really love it, but I wanted to give it a chance and a read myself, and that is Set A Watchman by Harper Lee. As I've mentioned before, I am a big fan of memoirs from artists and musicians and actors that I really enjoy, and this summer I'm actually going to see a concert of this musician, and so I wanted to pick up her memoir because she seemed like an interesting person, and I don't actually know that much about her, and I've only heard a little bit of her music, so I wanted to learn more, and that is The Only Pirate at the Party by Lindsey Stirling. The next 3 books in this haul are part of a wildly popular YA series that most people know because it's been turned into movies now, so if you haven't heard of it, I don't know where you've been, but that is the Maze Runner series by James Dashner. So I actually couldn't find one of the prequels and the actual Maze Runner at the library's book sale haul, which is to be expected, but I did get 3 of the 5. So I have The Kill Order, The Scorch Trials, and The Death Cure. The next book is the first in a series by my favorite author that I just haven't had a chance to get to yet, and I heard very good things about it. So I was excited to pick up a copy of the first book for myself so I can get cracking on it. And that is Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. Like I just said, Stephen King is my favorite author, and I neglected to pick up Dr. Sleep when I was there, and by the time I turned around to go get it again, it was already gone. That's how popular he was that day. So I had to settle for something else, which I know, such a bummer, right? But I did actually pick up another one by him, and that is a collection of short stories called Full Dark, No Stars. So the next one is a book that is also being turned into a movie. It's going to be released very shortly, and that is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Can you see it? There you go. Lastly, on this used library book sale haul is another book that I will fully admit I just picked up because the cover was pretty and the name sounded interesting, and that is The Angel of Losses by Stephanie Feldman. Well, those are all the books I have for you today on my used library book sale haul. I'll write the whole list down below, so if you're interested in getting more information about those books, you know exactly what they're called and who they're by. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Don't forget that if you enjoyed this video and you'd love to see more bookish content from me, leave a like. And if you want to keep up with my bookish adventures, don't forget you can subscribe and ring the little bell so you don't miss a beat. I'll see you later. Bye!